am a loser. Such a loser that a homeless man saved my soul after years of falling apart and playing the good guy, trying to make the right moves. And this is my story. I'm replaying the conversation in my head, the one that just happened in my boss's office. Andrew, we're moving in a different direction, he said, leaning back in his chair like he was talking about the weather. We need someone younger, more dynamic. I'm hearing those words over and over, and each time they sting a little more. I'm 47 years old, and for the first time in my life, I'm feeling invisible. I'm trying to breathe, but my chest is tight, like someone's sitting on it. My phone is buzzing in my pocket. Probably Linda, my ex-wife, asking if I've sent the alimony yet. I'm ignoring it. I'm ignoring everything right now, and I'm stepping out of the car, slamming the door behind me. The air is cold, and I'm not wearing a jacket, but I don't care. I'm walking toward the building, but I'm not going back inside. No. I'm heading to the parking lot exit, and I'm not looking back. My mind is racing, but my body is on autopilot. I'm crossing the street. I'm passing the coffee shop where I used to grab my morning latte. I'm walking past the bus stop where I've waited 1,000 times before. I'm not sure where I'm going, but I'm not stopping. I'm walking. That's all I'm doing right now, just putting one foot in front of the other, not thinking, not feeling, just moving. The streets are busy, but I'm not really seeing anyone. Cars are honking. People are talking on their phones, and somewhere in the distance, a siren is wailing. But it all feels muffled, like I'm underwater. I'm passing a park, and I'm noticing the trees for the first time in years. They're bare, their branches clawing at the grey sky. I'm thinking about how long it's been since I've actually stopped to look at something like this. Too long. Too damn long. My phone is buzzing again. I'm pulling it out of my pocket, and I'm seeing Linda's name on the screen. I'm staring at it for a moment, then I'm swiping to decline the call. I'm not ready to talk to her. Not now. Maybe not ever. I'm walking faster now, my breath coming in short, uneven bursts. My hand is twitching again, and I'm clenching it into a fist, trying to make it stop. But it won't. It's like my body is betraying me, reminding me that I'm falling apart. I'm reaching into my wallet, and I'm counting the cash I have left. $47. That's it. That's all I have to my name. I'm laughing, but it's a bitter, hollow sound. $47 for 47 years of life. How poetic? I'm stopping at a crosswalk, and I'm looking at my reflection in a store window. The man staring back at me looks tired. His hair is greying at the temples, his face is lined with worry, and his eyes look empty. I'm turning away quickly, not wanting to see any more. I'm walking again, but this time, I'm not sure where I'm going. My apartment is out of the question. I'm 3 months behind on rent, and I'm pretty sure the landlord has already changed the locks. I'm thinking about calling a friend. But who? Mark? He's too busy with his perfect family. Steve? He hasn't returned my calls in months. I'm realizing with a sinking feeling that I have nowhere to go. Night is falling, and the temperature is dropping. I'm shivering, but I'm not sure if it's from the cold or from the fear that's creeping into my chest. I'm passing a homeless man sitting on the sidewalk, his head bowed, a cardboard sign in his hands. I'm avoiding his eyes, but I'm catching a few words on the sign. Anything helps. God bless. I'm walking past him, but then I'm stopping. I'm turning around, and I'm pulling out my wallet. I'm taking out a $5 bill, and I'm handing it to him. He's looking up at me, and I'm seeing something in his eyes. Gratitude, maybe, or just surprise. Thank you, he says, his voice rough but kind. I'm nodding, but I'm not saying anything. I'm walking away, but I'm feeling a strange sense of connection to him. He's just like me, isn't he? Lost, alone, invisible. Hours later, I'm sitting on a bench in a deserted part of the city. My legs are aching, and my stomach is growling, but I'm ignoring it. I'm staring at the ground, and I'm thinking about how I got here. How did it all go so wrong? I'm remembering the day Linda left. She was standing in the doorway, her suitcase in hand, and she was saying something about how we'd grown apart. I wasn't listening. I was too busy staring at the floor, feeling like a failure. I'm remembering the look on Emily's face the last time I saw her. She was sitting in the passenger seat of Linda's car, and she was looking at me like I was a stranger. "Bye, Dad," she said, but it didn't sound like she meant it. I'm shaking my head, trying to push the memories away, but they're flooding in faster now. The job interviews I bombed, the friends who stopped calling, the nights I spent alone, staring at the ceiling, wondering where it all went wrong. I'm feeling a lump in my throat, and I'm swallowing hard, trying to keep it down. But it's no use. The tears are coming now, hot and fast, and I'm not even trying to stop them. I'm crying like I haven't cried in years, my shoulders shaking, my breath coming in ragged gasps. I'm not sure how long I sit there, but when I finally look up, the sky is dark and the streets are empty. I'm standing up, and I'm wiping my face with my sleeve. I'm not sure where I'm going, but I know I can't stay here. I'm walking again, but this time I'm not alone. I'm noticing the homeless man from earlier, the one with the cardboard sign. He's sitting under a bridge, a small fire burning in front of him. He's looking at me, and I'm feeling a strange pull toward him. "You lost, friend?" he asks, his voice calm and steady. I'm hesitating, but then I'm nodding. "Yeah," I say, my voice barely above a whisper. "I think I am." He's gesturing to the spot next to him. "Sit down," he says. "You look like you could use a friend." I'm sitting down, and I'm feeling the warmth of the fire on my face. I'm not sure what to say, but he's not pushing me. He's just sitting there quietly, like he's waiting for me to speak. "I don't know what to do," I'm saying finally, my voice breaking. "I don't know where to go." He's nodding, like he understands. "Sometimes," he says, "you have to lose everything to find yourself." I'm looking at him, and I'm seeing something in his eyes, a kind of peace, a quiet strength. And for the first time in a long time, I'm feeling a flicker of hope. I'm sitting by the fire staring into the flames, and I'm feeling the warmth seep into my bones. Samuel is next to me, quietly poking at the fire with a stick. He's not saying much, but his presence is comforting in a way I can't explain. "You hungry?" he asks after a while, breaking the silence. I'm nodding, even though I'm not sure if I can eat. My stomach feels like a knot, but I know I need something. Samuel is reaching into a small bag beside him and pulling out a half-eaten sandwich. He's handing it to me, and I'm hesitating for a moment before taking it. "Thanks," I'm saying, my voice barely above a whisper. He's nodding like it's no big deal. "You'll get used to it," he says. "The hunger, the cold, it's all part of it." I'm taking a bite of the sandwich, and it's dry and stale, but I'm not complaining. I'm chewing slowly, trying to focus on the taste, but my mind is racing. "How long have you been out here?" I'm asking, my voice shaky. Samuel is looking at the fire, his face shadowed by the flickering light. 5 years, he says. "Maybe 6. Time gets blurry after a while." I'm staring at him, trying to imagine what that must be like. 5 years on the streets, 5 years of cold nights, empty stomachs, and strangers' pity. "Why?" I'm asking before I can stop myself. "I mean, how did you end up here?" Samuel is silent for a long time, and I'm starting to think he's not going to answer. But then he's sighing, and he's leaning back against the wall of the bridge. "I was a teacher," he says finally. "High school history. I loved it. The kids, the lessons, the feeling that I was making a difference. But then, my wife got sick. Cancer. I took time off to take care of her, but it wasn't enough. She died, and I just couldn't go back. I lost my job, my house, everything." I'm listening, and I'm feeling a lump in my throat. I'm not sure what to say, so I'm just sitting there, staring at the fire. "What about you?" Samuel is asking, turning to look at me. "What's your story?" I'm shaking my head, not wanting to talk about it, But Samuel is waiting, his eyes steady and patient, and I'm feeling like I owe him something. I lost my job, I'm saying, finally, and my family. My wife left me, and my daughter. She barely talks to me anymore. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't know who I am. Samuel is nodding, like he understands. Sometimes, he says, you have to lose everything to find yourself. I'm looking at him, and I'm feeling something stir inside me. A flicker of hope, maybe, or just the realization that I'm not alone. The next morning, I'm waking up to the sound of traffic. The fire is out, and Samuel is already up, packing his things into a small backpack. We should get moving, he's saying, his voice calm but firm. The cops don't like us hanging around here too long. I'm nodding, even though my body is stiff and aching. I'm standing up and I'm brushing the dirt off my clothes, but it's no use. I'm a mess, and I'm feeling it in every bone. Samuel is leading the way, and I'm following him, not sure where we're going. The streets are busy now, and I'm feeling self-conscious, like everyone is staring at me. But Samuel is walking with his head held high, like he doesn't care what anyone thinks. We're stopping at a small park, and Samuel is pointing to a bench. Wait here, he's saying. I'll be back. I'm sitting down, and I'm watching him walk away. I'm not sure what he's doing, but I'm trusting him. For some reason, I'm trusting him. A few minutes later, he's coming back with 2 cups of coffee. He's handing one to me, and I'm taking it, feeling the warmth seep into my hands. Where did you get this? I'm asking, surprised. Samuel is smiling, a small, knowing smile. You learn a few tricks, he's saying. People are kinder than you think. I'm sipping the coffee, and it's bitter and strong, but it's the best thing I've tasted in days. Later that day, we're walking through the city, and Samuel is showing me the places he knows. The soup kitchen where they serve lunch, the library where you can stay warm for a few hours, the park where the cops don't bother you too much. I'm listening, but I'm also noticing the little things. The way the sunlight filters through the trees, the sound of children laughing in the distance, the smell of fresh bread from a bakery. It's strange, but I'm starting to see the world differently, like I've been blind for years and now my eyes are finally open. You'll get used to it, Samuel is saying, like he can read my thoughts. It's not so bad once you learn the ropes. I'm nodding, but I'm not sure if I believe him. Still, I'm feeling something I haven't felt in a long time, a sense of possibility, like maybe, just maybe, things can get better. I'm sitting on a bench in the park staring at my phone. Emily's name is on the screen and my finger is hovering over the call button. I'm trying to work up the courage to press it, but my hand is shaking and my heart is pounding in my chest. You gonna call her? Samuel is asking, sitting down next to me. I'm nodding, but I'm not sure if I'm ready. What if she doesn't answer? I'm saying, my voice barely above a whisper. Samuel is shrugging. Then you try again tomorrow, he's saying. But you won't know unless you try. I'm taking a deep breath, and I'm pressing the button. The phone is ringing, and each tone feels like an eternity. Finally, I'm hearing her voice. Dad? She's saying, and I'm feeling a lump in my throat. Hey, I'm saying, trying to keep my voice steady. I just wanted to hear your voice. There's a pause, and I'm holding my breath, waiting for her to say something. Are you okay? She's asking, and I'm hearing the concern in her voice. I'm figuring things out, I'm saying, not sure how much to tell her. I just wanted you to know that I'm thinking about you. Another pause, and then she's sighing. I'm glad you called, she's saying, but you can't just disappear like that, Dad. It's not fair. I'm nodding, even though she can't see me. I know, I'm saying. I'm sorry, Em. I'm really sorry. We're talking for a few more minutes, and it's awkward and stilted, but it's something. When I'm hanging up, I'm feeling a mix of relief and guilt. That was brave, Samuel is saying, patting me on the shoulder. I'm shaking my head. It wasn't enough, I'm saying. I need to do more. I need to show her that I'm trying. Samuel's nodding, like he understands. Then do it, he's saying, one step at a time. Later that day, we're walking through the city, and I'm noticing things I never paid attention to before. The way the sunlight reflects off the windows, the sound of a street musician playing a guitar, the smell of fresh coffee from a cafe. It's like the world is coming alive around me, and I'm seeing it for the first time. You're starting to get it, Samuel is saying, noticing the way I'm looking around. Get what? I'm asking, confused. The beauty, he's saying. It's always been there. You just have to open your eyes. I'm nodding, but I'm not sure if I fully understand. Still, I'm feeling something shift inside me, like a door opening to a room I didn't know existed. That night, we're sitting by the fire again, and Samuel is telling me stories about his life, about his wife, his son, the lessons he used to teach. I'm listening, and I'm realizing how much I've missed this, just talking to someone, really talking. You ever think about going back? I'm asking, curious. Samuel is shaking his head. Not really, he's saying. This is my life now, and it's not so bad once you learn to see the good in it. I'm not sure if I agree, but I'm starting to see his point. Life isn't about what you have. It's about what you make of it. I'm walking through the dimly lit alley, my footsteps echoing against the brick walls. Samuel is a few steps ahead of me, his silhouette barely visible in the faint glow of a distant streetlight. It's late and the city feels eerily quiet, like it's holding its breath. We should find a place to sleep soon, Samuel is saying, his voice low. This part of town isn't safe at night. I'm nodding, but I'm not really paying attention. My mind is still replaying the conversation I had with Emily earlier. Her voice, hesitant but not cold, keeps echoing in my head. You can't just disappear like that, Dad. She's right. I can't. But I'm not sure how to fix it. Suddenly I'm hearing footsteps behind us, quick, heavy, and getting closer. I'm turning around and I'm seeing 3 figures approaching, their faces hidden in the shadows. My heart is starting to race, and I'm feeling a cold sweat break out on my skin. Samuel, I'm saying, my voice tight. We've got company. He's turning around and I'm seeing his face harden. Stay calm, he's saying, but I'm not sure if he's talking to me or himself. The figures are closer now, and I'm seeing the glint of something in one of their hands, a knife. My stomach is twisting, and I'm feeling the urge to run, but my legs are frozen. Give us your stuff, one of them is saying, his voice rough and menacing. Samuel is stepping forward, his hands raised. We don't have much, he's saying, his voice steady. Just let us go, and you can take what you want. But they're not listening. One of them is lunging at Samuel, and I'm seeing the knife flash in the dim light. Without thinking, I'm stepping forward, trying to push Samuel out of the way. But I'm too slow. The knife is slicing through the air, and I'm hearing Samuel grunt in pain. Samuel! I'm shouting, my voice cracking. He's stumbling back, clutching his side, and I'm seeing the dark stain spreading across his shirt. The attackers are hesitating, maybe surprised by what just happened, and I'm using that moment to grab Samuel's arm. Run! I'm yelling, pulling him with me. We're sprinting down the alley, Samuel leaning heavily on me, his breath coming in ragged gasps. My heart is pounding and my legs are burning, but I'm not stopping, not until we're safe. We're finally stopping in a well-lit area near a 24-hour diner. Samuel is leaning against a wall, his face pale and sweaty. I'm kneeling beside him, my hands shaking as I'm trying to see how bad the wound is. It's not deep, Samuel is saying, his voice strained. I'll be fine. But I'm not convinced. The blood is still seeping through his shirt, and I'm feeling a wave of guilt wash over me. This is my fault. If I hadn't been so distracted, if I had been paying attention. We need to get you to a hospital, I'm saying, my voice urgent. Samuel is shaking his head. No hospitals, he's saying. They'll ask too many questions. Just help me clean it up. I'm nodding, even though I'm not sure what to do. I'm pulling off my jacket and pressing it against the wound, trying to stop the bleeding. Samuel is wincing, but he's not complaining. You saved me, I'm saying, my voice breaking. Why? Samuel is looking at me, his eyes steady despite the pain. Because you're worth saving, he's saying, even if you don't believe it yet. I'm staring at him, and I'm feeling something shift inside me, a mix of gratitude, guilt, and determination. I can't keep living like this. I can't keep being a burden to the people who care about me. Later that night, we're sitting in the diner, Samuel's wound cleaned and bandaged as best as I could manage. He's sipping a cup of coffee, his face still pale but less strained. You're going to be okay, I'm saying, more to reassure myself than him. Samuel is nodding. I've been through worse, he's saying with a faint smile. I'm not sure if he's telling the truth, but I'm choosing to believe him. For now, that's enough. I need to do something, I'm saying, my voice firm. I can't keep living like this. I need to fix my life. Samuel is looking at me, his eyes filled with something like pride. Then do it, he's saying. But remember, it's not about where you start. It's about where you're going. I'm nodding, and for the first time in a long time, I'm feeling a sense of purpose. It's small, but it's there, and that's enough to keep me going. I'm not the same man I was. I'm stronger now, wiser, and I'm ready for whatever comes next. As I'm walking away, I'm thinking about everything that's happened, the good, the bad, the ugly, and I'm smiling because I know I've made it through. I hope this helps someone, I'm saying to no one in particular. I hope it helps them avoid the mistakes I made.